As I turned to place the breakfast plates on the table, a sudden shadow loomed behind me. Before I could react, Matthew suddenly struck my head with a wooden rolling pin, his face twisted with a rage I'd never seen. Searing pain erupted through my skull, and the world spun as I collapsed. Hello everyone, my name is Caroline. I've been a housewife for several years now, and as I reflect on my life, I realize it's woven from threads of duty, expectations, and silent sacrifices made by those we love. My story isn't just about me, it's also about my father, a gentle and giving man who, without fully realizing it, was pulled into the weight of my married life. 6 years ago, I thought I had everything I could want. I lived in a quaint, cozy house on the edge of Seattle with my husband, Matthew, and his mother, Clara. It might sound like a warm, supportive family arrangement, but my place in that household came with a hidden cost. My father was expected to cover all our expenses. Month after month, he paid the bills quietly, without complaint, but I knew the toll it was taking on him. Each month, I watched as the strain on him grew, even if he tried to hide it from me. Living with Matthew and Clara felt like walking on a tightrope. Clara, with her dominant personality and sharp words, didn't hide what she expected from me. "It's better this way, Caroline," she'd say. "Your father can afford it, and it keeps everyone comfortable." Her tone always made it clear that this wasn't a suggestion, it was a command. Matthew stood by in silence, never challenging his mother's demands, as though he agreed with her entirely. I loved Matthew, and although my life in that house was tough, my love and commitment to him kept me hoping for a change. Every day, I wished for a sign that things could be different, that our family could be united by love and not by financial dependence on my father. But deep down, I knew I was clinging to a dream that was slowly being crushed under unspoken rules and forced smiles. Then, one day, everything changed with a single life-shattering phone call. The day my father passed away was the day my world began to crumble. I remember rushing to the hospital, moving through cold, empty corridors that seemed to echo my grief. My father had suffered a sudden heart attack, and despite the doctor's efforts, he was gone before I could say goodbye. I lost not only my father, but also the stability he had quietly provided me. Without him, I felt adrift, like I had lost the foundation of my life. A few days after his passing, I was called to his lawyer's office. It was strange to think about a will while I was still grieving, but I gathered the strength to attend. As I sat in that cold, formal office, the lawyer informed me that my father had left me $100 million and a beautiful house in one of Seattle's most desirable neighborhoods. The amount was staggering, and for a moment, it felt surreal. Part of me even wished it was all a mistake. Returning home, I noticed a strange shift in Clara's demeanor. Her usual calculating gaze now held an unmistakable glint of greed. She approached me in the living room, her voice initially soft with feigned sympathy, only to change to a tone that was firm and demanding. "Caroline," she said, her voice turning sharp, "you need to transfer the $100 million to my account and give the house to Matthew. It's what's best for the family." I was stunned, seeing her audacity. My father's kindness had been taken for granted, and now, instead of offering comfort in my time of grief, Clara saw this as an opportunity to claim what wasn't hers. "I can't do that, Clara," I replied, my voice stronger than I felt. "The money and the house were my father's final gift to me. I won't let anyone take that from me." Clara's face twisted in fury, and she stepped closer, her voice now a menacing whisper. "You'll regret this decision, Caroline. I promise you that." I stood firm, but I knew there would be consequences. The tension in the house became unbearable, and it was clear that a storm was brewing. In the days that followed, the atmosphere in the house grew colder. The tension was palpable, as if every corner of the home held resentment and accusation. Matthew, once the man I thought I knew, became a stranger. He sided with his mother without hesitation, his face hardened, his words laced with resentment. Our love, once so strong, seemed to evaporate in the wake of Clara's greed and Matthew's betrayal. One cold morning, things reached a breaking point. I had just finished making breakfast when Matthew entered the kitchen, his face tense with anger. Clara watched from the doorway, her expression dark and expectant. Without warning, Matthew grabbed a wooden rolling pin, the one I used every day to make bread, and raised it, striking me on the head. Pain exploded through my skull, and the world spun as I crumpled to the floor. My vision blurred, and I struggled to comprehend the betrayal, the violence. Darkness crept in, and I lost consciousness. When I came to, I was lying on the cold tile floor, the throbbing pain in my head a brutal reminder of what had just happened. I could faintly hear Clara's voice, full of disdain as she muttered something under her breath, but Matthew was nowhere to be seen. I pulled myself up slowly, my hand trembling as I touched the tender, swollen spot on my head. Realizing I couldn't stay in this house any longer, I reached for my phone and dialed my closest friend, Rachel, who lived nearby. She answered on the first ring, and without hesitation, she told me to pack a bag. She was coming to get me. Rachel arrived within minutes, helping me gather a few belongings and urging me to leave quickly. I didn't look back as I walked out of the house that had once been my home, knowing I was leaving behind not only a toxic environment, but also the people who had betrayed me in the worst way possible. At Rachel's home, I allowed myself time to rest and heal. The physical pain from the injury was one thing, but the emotional scars ran far deeper. Every day, I grappled with the heartbreak and the anger, the disbelief that my own husband could treat me this way. As I healed, I grew determined to take control of my life and my father's legacy. I wouldn't let them take what was rightfully mine. With Rachel's support, I reached out to a lawyer, seeking legal advice to protect the inheritance my father had left me. The divorce process was grueling, filled with tense court hearings where Clara and Matthew tried to contest my inheritance, insisting that I owed them financial support. But I stood my ground, backed by my lawyer and several family friends who knew of Clara's manipulations and could attest to the truth. During one hearing, Matthew's frustration got the best of him. In a fit of anger, he blurted out that the only reason they had tolerated me was for my father's financial support. His outburst worked in my favor, exposing their intentions and securing my position in the eyes of the court. In the end, I was granted full control over my father's estate, and Matthew received a harsh legal reprimand, ensuring he and Clara could no longer interfere in my life. The divorce was finalized, and for the first time in years, I felt a weight lift from my shoulders. With the case settled, I moved into the beautiful home my father had left me. The house was large, with expansive windows that filled the rooms with natural light. As I walked through each empty room, the silence felt overwhelming, a reminder of all I had lost. But as the days passed, I began to see the house not as a symbol of my pain, but as an opportunity for a fresh start. I thought about my father's kindness, his love for the community, and his desire to help others. Inspired by his memory, I decided to transform the house into a sanctuary for the elderly, a place where people who had no family or home could find comfort, companionship, and care. It felt like the perfect way to honor his legacy. With a renewed sense of purpose, I set about transforming the house into a welcoming sanctuary. I reached out to local organizations and care agencies, letting them know I was creating a space for elderly people in need of a home. The renovations took time, but I poured my energy and resources into every detail, making sure the house felt warm, inviting, and full of life. From comfortable rooms to cozy communal spaces, I wanted each resident to feel they were part of a family. As the renovations neared completion, I began meeting with potential residents, each with their own story, each seeking companionship in their later years. The first resident to join our community was Mrs. Theresa Lewis, a vibrant 85-year-old who had a passion for gardening and a quick wit. She quickly became the heart of our little family, rallying the others for morning walks in the garden and sharing stories from her past over evening tea. Her laughter filled the house, turning it from a mere building into a home. One by one, the rooms were filled with residents, and soon my house became a lively community. We celebrated birthdays, held movie nights, and had regular storytelling sessions where each person shared memories from their lives. The home began to radiate warmth and joy, a stark contrast to the silence that had once haunted its halls. Every day, I found myself growing stronger, more fulfilled, as I saw the joy this home brought to those who had been alone. Then, one afternoon, I had an unexpected visitor. It was Daniel, a childhood friend I hadn't seen in years. We had shared countless memories growing up, and seeing him standing on my doorstep brought back a flood of nostalgia. He had heard about the sanctuary I'd created and had come to offer his help. We spent hours catching up, reminiscing about the past, and laughing over memories long forgotten. Daniel's visits soon became regular, and he wasn't just there to catch up. He was genuinely interested in the work I was doing, spending time with the residents, listening to their stories, and joining in on our activities. The residents adored him, and his presence became a bright spot for everyone in the home, especially for me. After everything I had endured, Daniel's kindness and warmth were like a balm for my wounded heart. His visits became a highlight of my days, and our connection grew stronger with each passing week. He understood the pain I had gone through and the journey I had undertaken to rebuild my life, and his steady support reminded me of the goodness life could still offer. One evening, as we strolled through the garden in the soft glow of the setting sun, Daniel stopped, turning to face me. His eyes held a warmth I hadn't seen in years. "Caroline," he began, his voice gentle yet sure, "seeing you here, creating this sanctuary, and bringing so much happiness to others, it's inspiring. I've realized I want to be a part of this journey with you in every way. Will you let me be by your side? Will you marry me?" His words took my breath away. After everything I had been through, I never thought I would feel this way again. But here he was, a reminder that love and happiness could bloom even after life's darkest chapters. With tears in my eyes and a heart full of hope, I said yes. Our wedding was a simple yet heartfelt celebration held in the gardens of the sanctuary. The residents who had become family joined us, filling the air with laughter and joy. The gardens, with their colorful blooms and gentle sunlight, were the perfect setting as Daniel and I exchanged vows. It was a moment of pure happiness, not only for us, but for everyone gathered. This wasn't just a union of two people. It was a testament to new beginnings, resilience, and the power of community. Life with Daniel brought a wholeness I hadn't known before. Together, we shared the responsibilities of running the sanctuary, ensuring each resident felt loved and cared for. Daniel's kindness and steady support created a home that was not only physically beautiful, but also filled with compassion and warmth. Every corner of the house, once a symbol of loss, now reflected the love and joy we shared with those around us. The residents flourished in this environment. Mrs. Theresa, our spirited gardener, continued to lead daily activities, her joy contagious as she rallied everyone for gardening sessions and shared her wisdom from a lifetime of experiences. Other residents found companionship in each other, and the sanctuary became more than just a place to stay. It was a family, a home where people belonged. As time passed, Daniel and I dreamed of expanding the sanctuary. We wanted to create more spaces for those in need, ensuring that everyone who came to us could experience the same comfort and community we had built. Inspired by my father's compassion and the resilience of the residents, we worked tirelessly to make this dream a reality. Looking back, I could hardly recognize the person I had been, broken, betrayed, and searching for a sense of belonging. The sanctuary had given me a purpose, and with Daniel by my side, I felt a sense of peace and fulfillment I hadn't thought possible. The house, once echoing with emptiness, now overflowed with love, laughter, and the shared stories of our residents. Together, Daniel and I created a life that honored my father's memory and fulfilled our own dreams. As the seasons changed, so did my heart, embracing the beauty of each new day. In helping others, I had found my own place in the world, a life where love and community could heal even the deepest wounds. With Daniel, the sanctuary, and the memories of my father's kindness, I knew I was exactly where I was meant to be. Life had given me a second chance, and I was ready to embrace whatever the future held, filled with gratitude and hope for the endless possibilities ahead. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button for more captivating stories. Share your thoughts in the comments. I'd love to hear what you think. And of course, give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed the journey. See you in the next story.